What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Billy Goat channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Themis Files by Sylvain Neuvel. Here's what they look like. They do look good on a shelf, and that's probably one of the only good things I'm going to have to say about these books. So as far as the plot goes, these books are science fiction, of course, but they're set in the near future, okay? So it's not anything, we're not talking hundreds of years, basically in the current, political situation. What happens is they find this robot that's buried all over the planet in different pieces. So the story begins with them trying to assemble this robot and goes on from there. Something to know going into these books is that these are written not through your traditional viewpoint character with hearing their thoughts and seeing their actions and how they move through this world. Instead of that, you're getting interviews, news articles, like radio transmissions. That's how the story is being told. And what it does, the issue with that, is that all these characters seem very one-dimensional to me. All you really know about them is what they're saying in the conversations. It also seems kind of forced because a lot of these interviews are between the main characters and this guy in the background who's like this shady character that's controlling everything. He's like the puppet master. And so all the main characters report to him. And so you have these interviews where the main characters are telling the boss guy like about all their feelings and, this whole situation with the giant robots, it's so stressful, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why? This doesn't seem like a natural conversation because all the main characters, they work for this boss that's basically coercing them into doing all these experiments and shit to save the human race. The whole setup of the books with all these interviews, it just makes all the characters fall flat, at least in, my opinion. The first book I gave 3 stars. The thing about them, as long as the science is good, like if there's cool science shit in a science fiction book, good action and stuff, I'm pretty forgiving with the score. For me, anything below a 3-star rating is like actively unpleasant to be reading. That's not the case for these books, at least until I got to book 3, which we'll get to. But book 1, 3 stars. Book 2, 3 stars. Book 3, this was the make or break moment for the series. So all this stuff happens throughout the book. Things are escalating. Different nations of the world are fighting over these giant robots. And of course, there's this whole mystery in the background about where did the robots come from, who put them there, what was the purpose, all this stuff that was pretty interesting. But I get to book 3, and I'm like, okay, this is it. Get down. Anyway, so I get to book 3, and I'm like, this is the make or break moment. Basically, there was no way I was going to give this book 3 stars, because if it wasn't good enough, I basically just wasted so many hours reading these books for... And unfortunately, that is what happened. It wasn't good enough. I was ready to give this one 4 stars if it exceeded my expectations somehow, but it didn't. So 2 stars for this one. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people would like these books, but I read these 2 first. Then I read Hyperion, which if you've watched my last video, I spoke very highly of that one, and it's one of my favorites ever. So I read that Hyperion, then I read this, and reading those 2 back to back, I was like, this is not hitting the mark at all. So, slightly disappointed, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.